Sadhana means Shariram sadhayati sadharma. That is, controlling all senses in the body is sadhana. Controlling one's senses, one's thoughts, one's body is sadhana. Your body, your mind is not under your control. You cannot even sit at one place for 1 hour. Sometimes you move your hands, sometimes your legs. Then you start yawning and feel tired. You cannot sit in the feet of the God for even 2 hours. You cannot concentrate your mind even for 15 minutes. A woman sits with her eyes closed and chants, "O Ram, O Ram, daughter-in-law, the milk is on the stove, take care of it." And then again, "O Ram, O Ram." You are in meditation, why should you worry about the milk? You are sitting praying to the Lord, and if the milk spills over, it is the responsibility of the daughter-in-law. But Guruji, you say, milk is 10 rupees per kg. You will speak and go away, but I shall lose 10 rupees. I have to take care. You shall go away, then who shall account for my 10 rupees? Then you say, Guruji, my daughter-in-law is so careless. If she felt some responsibility, I would not have to say anything. But you do not realize the truth. Tomorrow when you shall die, what shall you be able to do if the milk spills? Who shall then take care of it? But it is unfortunate that when living, we do not think of death, and we do not realize that we are left with so little time. The battle of Mahabharata was being fought between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. It was a battle of dharma, righteousness. Dharma denoted that after sunset, the fighting stopped. Only after the day dawned again would the fighting resume. The Pandavas and the Kauravas would fight all day long with each other, and in the evening, Duryodhana, Bhima, Arjuna and Yudhishthira would sit and have food together. One evening at around 9 o'clock in the night, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva and Arjuna, all these 5 brothers were discussing their battle plan for the next day. At that moment, a sage came to them. On seeing him, Yudhishthira said, "O holy man, come back in the morning, we will give you alms then." As Yudhishthira said these words, Arjuna got up suddenly and started beating a drum loudly. Bhima asked him, "Arjun, what are you doing? Why are you beating the battle drum in the night?" Arjuna said, "This is just to express my happiness that Yudhishthira shall be alive at least till next morning." Yudhishthira never speaks a lie, and as he has promised to give alms in the morning, hence no one can kill him at least till the next morning. On hearing these words, Yudhishthira said, "I have committed a grave mistake. How can I know if I shall remain alive even after 1 hour from now? I always speak the truth, but have now given assurance that I shall give alms in the morning. Will I remain alive till the morning? That's why I ask you, how much time do you have? You don't know. There is no machine in this world which can tell how much more you shall live. No science can forecast this. No scientist or doctor can tell this to you. I cannot forecast, and even you cannot tell. You say, Guruji, we shall start meditation after a few years. Guruji, let my son's marriage be over. Then I shall accomplish the sadhana which you have given to me and come to you. When will the marriage take place? When will your daughter-in-law arrive? When will you teach her to prepare food? And when shall you come to me? What if something happens to you in between? What if death snatches you away from this world? You cannot tell. Hence, only the moments of the present, which are in your hands, are your own, and when you shall use them properly, only then shall you achieve totality of life. I have told you that totality of life cannot be achieved just by listening to preachings. Sadhana is the only medium between you and God, and you can reach that state only through this medium. By giving away charity, you will not reach Him. You shall only gain a contentment. By building a temple, you may feel satisfied that you have established an idol of God. This is not the way to achieve totality of life. This is only a social work and nothing else. You listen to discourses. This is also a way to achieve peace of mind. This in itself is not sadhana. Sadhana is something different. Sadhana is in no way linked to visiting a temple or going to a park. Sadhana is an entirely distinct concept. Praying is something else. Chanting the name of God, closing one's eyes, giving charity are all different, and none of these is in any way linked to sadhana. Sadhana has a separate identity. Sadhana is the only medium through which you can reach the state of divinity where you can attain realization of God. Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadrusham Tattvamasya Laksham. This state is beyond all confusion. Here there is no conflict, no fear, no sign of death. Here death cannot touch you. When Lord Rama has not died, even you cannot die. When Lord Krishna, Buddha and Mahavir have not died, then you too can become immortal. And why not? You very well know the name of Rama. You also know that he was the son of Dasharatha. But what was the name of Dasharatha's father? You also do not know what was his grandfather's name. This is because they died while Rama did not. Rama did not die because we still remember him, but the grandfather of Rama, he died. To make it more clear, let me explain this way. You know the name of your father, and I believe this. You also know the name of your grandfather, but none of you know the name of your great-grandfather. A person who lived 4 generations before has died. You too shall die. Your sons will remember you, but your great-grandsons will not remember even your name. This is because this is the prevailing trend. Just see how soon a person is completely forgotten after his death. And so that he may live on, a person marks a road as Lakshminath Road. He thinks that when he dies, people will at least remember him by the name given to the road. Someone builds a temple and dies, and someone gives form to a new religion and dies. And this they do so that their names may live on even after their death. But it's useless to name a road as Lakshminath Road. You may name your house as Kausalya Bhavan, but it is not necessary that the name Kausalya will be remembered. Your daughter-in-law will change the name from Kausalya to Sumitra. Then what shall you do? One cannot live in the hearts of others this way. This is not the proper method. We are only deceiving ourselves if we think that perhaps we will live on this way. This is not the way to become immortal. Lord Rama did not put up a board highlighting his name, and neither Lord Krishna did any such thing in order to make his name immortal. Even Lord Buddha did not put up any such display board, but still he lives on. Every one among us remembers his name. He is still alive amongst his disciples, spread all over the world in over 27 countries. His body died, but he lives on. And you too can live on through the medium of sadhana. Even Rama accomplished sadhanas, living for 13 years in forests with yogis and ascetics. Krishna accomplished sadhanas in the hermitage of Guru Sandipani. Lord Buddha lives on through the medium of sadhanas. Lord Mahavira lives on. Shankaracharya, Goraknath, all live on, and even you can become immortal through sadhanas. But sadhana cannot be learnt by going to a temple. One should go to a temple. I do not ask you to stop visiting a temple. One should give away charity. One should help the poor. One should listen to preachings. One should earn money, because all these things are necessary for a householder. But through them you cannot live till eternity. Through them you cannot attain joy, and you cannot achieve totality of life. And if there isn't totality, then your life is imperfect. The only way to it is sadhana. Sadhana is something distinct from preaching and from mantras. If you keep chanting Hare Ram, Hare Krishna 2000 times daily, if you say that devotion means just praying before God, then it is not so. It is not necessary that He will appear before you. You may pray as much as you wish. A beggar approaches you and begs for alms in a humble voice, with his eyes filled with tears, and says, I am hungry, my children are starving, please give me some money. If your heart fills with pity, you shall give something to him, otherwise you won't. It all depends upon you. But if a person comes before you and threateningly says to you, I am hungry and I want 5 rupees at all cost, you will think that it would be better to give him something, and you do so. When you are devoted, then it is not necessary that your devotion would be so deep that God would surely grant totality to your life. But in sadhana, you are sure to achieve success. It cannot happen that you perform a sadhana and do not achieve totality of life. And it cannot happen that deficiencies fail to be removed from your life. When can we do sadhana? Sadhana is only possible when all the deficiencies and shortcomings of your life are removed. If you are starving and have no food, then you cannot concentrate even if you sit down with your eyes closed. Once there was a very tyrannical king who was very cruel and despotic. One day he called 5 Muslim and 5 Hindu priests and asked them, What is God like? What is the form of your Allah? The priests replied, What do you ask? What is the form of God? How should we tell you? Well, Your Highness, God can be in the form of Rama with a bow and arrow in his hands, and he may be like Krishna with a flute in his hand. The king said, No, God must be but one. He cannot have 50 forms. What you speak of are different forms. Tell me, what is God like? The priest said, We have told you that he has different forms. God may be with a flute in his hand or with a bow and arrow in his hand. God may also be in the form of Durga, Bhavani, Jagadamba, or a form with 8 or more hands? The king persisted. No, this cannot be. All of you tell me, what is God like? What is his actual form? He must be one, for Brahma is one. But none of the priests could satisfy the king, and all of them were put into prison. They were given only water to drink, no food was given. One day passed. The Muslim priests started praying to Allah. The Hindu priests prayed to Rama and Krishna. Thus 2 days passed. All of them were worried as to what would happen to them. They kept praying. The next day, they forgot their prayers and started to worry when they would get some food. What was their fault? They thought. One more day passed and they started shouting for food. All of them forgot their gods and only cried out for food. They stopped praying. On the 5th day, all of them lay on the floor due to weakness. Whenever they closed their eyes, all they saw was round loaves of bread. The king had them brought before him and asked again, "What is God like?" All of them answered in unison, "God is round, like a loaf of bread. And if all of you are starving and I teach you sadhana, then all that shall appear before your eyes will be food." Hence, first it is necessary to remove all shortcomings in your life through sadhana. And we shall achieve totality only when all the scarcity in one's lives is removed. This is necessary, for we are just householders.